Hello and welcome back to Ayaron's world. Well, let's check on the progress I've been making on the mob spawner. Or cloud spawner, as I am now calling it. Well, there it is up there. What you can see there in black, that is the base of the collection point. What I found I had to do was I had to make an obsidian blast chamber. Because I had some accidents. The vines that I'd placed started to grow down, and so the mobs had started to survive when they got to the ground. And I had a number of occasions where skeletons were shooting me off, but also creepers were blowing up. And considering that that's made of wool, they did a lot of damage. So I've made an obsidian blast chamber in there. And I've extended there, you can see the circular base. That's basically the same size as the circle that the mob platforms themselves are made of. Now, one thing I've discovered is that the mobs are spawning even without me making any block updates at the top. So you can see here my obsidian blast chamber. Got a little paranoid about that. But as you can hear, the mobs are falling in, and they're already spawning. So what I've got here is just a series of fence gates with water flowing from that corner, so it brings the drops to me here nicely. I'm a bit full of stuff right now, so I can't pick that up. Now, I am finding the occasional mob is landing and taking no damage whatsoever. And I mean no damage. They've got their full 10 hearts. I tested this because I punched one and it took 20 punches to kill it. And I can't work out why every now and then one of them survives. It's not really a big deal. The skeletons won't shoot at me unless I'm all the way nestled in here. And, even if the creepers blew up, this blast chamber is, they're not going to get through that. So it's not really an issue. It just means I have to kill the occasional one with a sword. I'm just curious how that's happening. I mean, that there is the only full water block. But I thought with the fence posts underneath, even a full water block will still cause all the damage to the mobs. So, anyway, I've got a chest here that I've been filling up with the loot from the mobs. Now, all those records is... What I've discovered is that when I was building this blast chamber, I was blocking this shoot-off at this level here. So all the mobs were landing on there and they were surviving perfectly fine. Then once I built the blast chamber, I had to sort of knock out the ground and let them fall, the last little bit, and then I would kill them with the sword. But as I was doing that, I was like standing here, knocking out the sides and then knocking out the thing underneath. The skeletons would get a look at me, and there would be a lot of skeletons concentrated in that tiny space, and they'd all shoot at me instantly. And they would kill loads of creepers, and as we know, when skeletons shoot creepers dead, you get records. So I've actually got quite a few different record types here, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4... It looks like I've got 5 different records, which is pretty cool. Right, I need to make another chest somewhere. Do I have... Let me pop a chest down. What I need is just an equipment chest for now. There we go. I'll just throw a single chest down just so I've got somewhere to put things like the glass panes and the wood that I've brought with me, so we can work a bit more on what's around here. The wool I'm going to hang on to, but now I should be able to pick up all this stuff and put it here. Now the main thing I'm interested in from this is the gunpowder, because the other mob spawner I had never really gave me enough gunpowder. Now, gunpowder is a good way to get more sand, because you use sand in the gunpowder, you use the gunpowder to get more sand, and you use that sand to get even more gunpowder. And once I get a nice supply of TNT, previous sentence, substitute the word gunpowder for TNT for most of it. Once I get plenty of TNT, then there's some underground projects I can work on, like my slime spawner and so on. Let me get rid of these bones as well. So, let me hit F3, so you can see the sort of spawn rates we're getting up there. Most of the time, I'm getting between about 15, well, 14 to 16 mobs up there all the time. Obviously, they then work their way through the water channels, and they fall down and they die. Just as I say that, of course, the amount of mobs drop. That's because they spawn in packs, and then they, start to fall down and stuff like that. So, I actually sort of don't want to pick up those drops because the chest is going to fill up so much, but, well, doesn't matter. I find that I just keep doing that. I see the drops, I feel I have to pick them up. Pretty soon, it's not going to, rare drops, bows from skeletons as they died, the ones I had to kill with the swords. Oops. So, how many levels is it that is giving me that many drops? Well, let's go on up and we'll take a look. I'm going to leave the coordinates on screen because some of you were asking about what sort of Y coordinates we've got. So, this floor here is at Y of 187, and you can see that the impact zone is at 188. It's possible the impact zone could be a little higher and they'd still die. I think they die at that level, and at that level they become single punch kills. And I've done this so if I want I can put pistons in and make it sort of switchable, so I can select between death and XP spawning, and I can do that at a later date. So now, at a height of 187, of course, I'm not quite 128 above the ground. But I've got a few torches down there, and so far, whenever I look down, it's 0 entities. So there's no spawning happening down there, which is in any way interfering with all the spawning that's happening up there, which is why we're getting such good rates. So let us climb up to the... oops. So the level this ladder goes up to is... it's not the level of the first spawning floor. So this is 214. And the spawning pads are of course 2 higher than here. This is the level of the water channels. But as you can see, I've got 4 levels on there so far. Each level was 144 spawning spaces. So I'll let you do the maths, but it's slightly less than 150 a level, so we'll call that 586 spawning spaces so far. And at the top here, I'm at a height of 234. Now, mobs will spawn up to a height of 240. So if I just get a bit of wool here. So this is the height of a spawning platform here. Then there's 2 room for their heads. Then the ceiling of the floor above. So as you can see, I can't get another. I can get 1 more spawning platform in, but I can't get a second one, a 6th one. Because if this is the floor of the one above, if we go 2 more for a spawning platform, we're at 241, and mobs will not spawn at this height. So there's just 1 more level to add, and then this thing will be at maximum capacity. Now, most of the spawning floors are within 40 blocks of the collection area, I believe. The collection area, well, I'm standing at... ooh, what was it? 187? 40 onto 187 is 227. So if I go down here until 227, you can see that those 3 levels are within 40 blocks of me, which means the mobs in those levels don't stop moving. They'll keep walking around until they fall off and fall in. My mouse is doing that weird sticky thing again, where it's not turning smoothly for some reason. So it's only going to be the top 2 floors that are beyond the 40 block limit, which means that the mobs that spawn in there might freeze and not fall into the water. But the platforms are so small that most of them will happily fall in, and the few that don't aren't really going to slow it down by that much. Once I put the final floor on, I'm probably going to put a dome on top, just for the look of the thing. So, what I'm hoping on working on a bit today is this bit down here, because this is where I'm going to be spending most of my time. And so this is the bit that I want to look nicer. Now, sorry, mouse awkwardnesses. They should start spawning again. See, now I'm down here, they start spawning again. Because they won't spawn within 24 blocks of me, so... Let's get rid of that coordinate system for a moment. Although we might want it back in a bit. Oh, we're getting some weird graphicals. I saw some... I went over the edge there, there was like some weird black thingamies. Yeah, I'm also only getting 20 frames a second, which on this new computer is absolutely rubbish. Excuse me a second, I'm going to find out what's going on. It might be the new version of Optifine I put in. I might have to go back to the other version. Because I put in the multi-core version, which you'd think would be better considering I have a multi-core computer. But it seems not. Anyway, let's just dump this stuff again. I'll be doing a lot of this, won't I? Okay, I wanted a stack of arrows. There we go. Oh, and I've got some string I can turn back into wool. There we go. So, what do I want to do here? This is what I need to decide, because I thought I saw one of them survive. Because I've got this platform here. Now, I think the first thing I want to do is I want to move this so it's directly under that. Or do I? Oh, I don't know. Let's have a look at this from over there, because then we can see the shape a little bit better. There we go. So I quite like the look of the multi-level stuff up there. I left like a sort of notch in between each, so you can easily see where each level is. And I'm thinking I might fill that in with coloured wool, or glowstone perhaps. I don't know. So I need a platform down there because that's where the portal is, and the portal cannot be any higher unless they fix the nether portals not being able to connect to anything above 128. And then I've got that there, and then I've got that there. Now, if I put a dome on top, what I was thinking is I might put a dome underneath there, although I might bring it down a bit first and then put the dome on, so it matches what's up there. The danger is that if it matches what's up there too exactly, it might end up looking like a dumbbell. Which I don't necessarily want. But I also don't think that circle should go all the way down to there before it curves off, because, well, one, that would be a ludicrous amount of wool and space, and I just don't think it would look that good. There's going to be a slight wall around that, probably made of glass. I'll probably do something similar than I've done there. Is that I'll have a block, glass panes, and then a half slab, because as a barrier method this has the advantage you can see through it nicely, but you can't accidentally fall over at all. So I could just put a dome directly on the bottom of that, and then have the elevator passageway, whatever it is that's for that stuff, sort of drop down from it. Have another column like that one there going down to that platform where there could be a smaller circle, and maybe not a dome at the bottom, but maybe like a pyramid, a spike. That might look pretty good. It is just a question of, do I start the curve there directly? Or do I come down a bit first and then do the curve? I am not sure. Okay, I'll wait for some feedback from you guys, I think. So it's simply, this bottom bit, do I just go for a dome, direct on, or do I say build a level or two down and then put the dome in? I mean, if I put a level or two down, it'll give me plenty of room to... Because what I'm thinking is I might have like a second base up there with another storage room and stuff like that. But I think I want to build on this elevator thing. Now, someone showed me a very interesting elevator idea which uses minecarts. And I think I might use that to go from down there up to there. Simply because it's a trip that I'm going to have. I'm going to have to do quite a lot, so it would be nice if it could be sort of done as quickly as possible. So let's work on that. I'm wondering whether I can get directly underneath that thing. It's a bit tricky to tell, isn't it? So what I'm thinking is that if my elevator thing can be nice and centralized, because that way I can build a column around it which will connect up there down to here. So I want it to actually come up directly underneath the blast chamber, which means that when I get out I'll be on a lower floor, but then I can just have a staircase going up. Oops. So I'm not sure I want to make it out of wool. I left all my wood up there, didn't I? Now, the outer core of whatever it is I build is going to be made of wool. But I want the inner core of the elevator and the floors in most of this place to be made of wood, simply because the wool breaks just too easily. Okay. So, how much space do I have here? I need a central column. Oops. But I also need room for a drop. Is that in the centre? Check that. Oops, don't fall off the ladder. Yep, that's the centre. So I think I just want to bring that down, although I should maybe make it out of wood. And then I can build off that, I think. I said I don't have the wood in my hand, I've got the wool. Okay. Ah, it's not in the centre. Try a little more. Eek, eek, eek. There we go. So I just have to do this all the way down, so I know what I'm dealing with. I have planted some more ash trees over there. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh. I can't zoom in. But anyway, so that I planted loads of ash trees over there, so I've got more of this wood coming. getting that sticky mouse thing again. I wonder if it's something to do with the fact that I'm holding down left shift. Oh, I bet I've got that annoying Windows thing turned on, which is something like enhance my pointer precision when I hold down shift. So it's sort of going into like a slow zoom mode on this or something. I have to make sure I turn that off. Oh. Almost there. There we go. So now let's just extend the white wool around it a bit, so I've got a bit of walking around room without me hurtling to my death every 3 seconds, which, believe me, has happened an awful lot off camera. Right. So, one side of this is going to be a quick drop, and the other side is going to be the minecart elevator. And if that's where my portal is, and unfortunately, well, I suppose I could rotate my portal so it faces that way. It means I'll have to rotate the one in the nether as well, but that's no great hardship. Either that or I move it to be like there, which I could do because don't forget that 8 blocks in the real world is only 1 block in the nether. So even if I move this all the way over to there, that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the nether it's only, oops, sorry, hit my mic. In the nether it's the equivalent of only moving it 1 block, so it should still link up fine. Might also lower it so it's actually sort of in the floor, which means that I could have the minecart elevator on one side and the quick drop on the other. So if I make the minecart elevator on this side, because it doesn't really matter which, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Apparently the first level can be there. So I'm going to make the first level. Oops. I've decided this wood to make the insides because it's a little bit tougher than the wool. But it's also a nice pale colour, and of all the building materials I've got, this is the palest colour, so it will match, I think, best with the white wool. I mean, I could have gone for a dark colour as a contrast, but for things like flooring and major constructions in the cloud base, I like this wood. So I apparently need ladders. And I didn't bring any. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. Did I put ladders up here? Tell you what, I'm going to put the quick drop in. I need a sign. Make a sign. Don't want to make a sign because I know I've got spare signs up here already. I know it's only wood, but it's against my instincts to waste it. Right, let's get rid of that while we're here. Wonderfully crunchy sound. So, didn't think they'd be in there. Right, here we go. Ladders and railroads, and I've got the iron on me. While we're here though, let's make the minecarts. not sure how many I need. Oh, minecarts don't stack. That's slightly aggravating. Squeeze them in. That'll do for now. We can dump more of the wool. Spare signs, spare signs. They're up there. Now, I'm not going to put an elevator... Well, I may or may not put an elevator up to the top of this thing. In general, I'm not going to need to go up here again. Because I don't really need to turn this spawner on or off. Because it's so far away from, you know, from most of my world that it's not really an issue. I mean, normally you want to turn off mob spawners so they don't lag your world and stuff like that, but things will only spawn and be up here when I'm up here. Right, I must remember to light up these platforms as I go, otherwise mobs can spawn on them. It's always spiders down there. Whenever I climb down, I just see the desert full of spiders. There's never been any other mobs so far. Oh well. Alright, so let's light this up a little bit. So, if I remember how to make this properly, let's get stuff on my bar. There we go. So, the minecart's going to nestle in this hole here, so you put a ladder underneath, which is what it will stand on. You leave that empty, you put a block there, put a minecart track there, and you put it... Oh! Ah, I rubbed into it. There we go, right, so let's back off a bit so I don't touch it after I put it down. There we go. Now I knock this block out. There we go, and it falls in nice and neatly, and it doesn't move. Got a weird jumpy thing going on. Right, now if you notice there's a glitch there, that means that when I try and jump out of that I fall down. That means that when you get to the top you have to have a special minecart positioned in such a way. Anyway, so see, that lets me in like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think if it was one higher I wouldn't be able to grab it. But I'm not entirely certain. So, wow. Ooh, what happened there? Oh, I fell. Oh dear, oh dear. I'm just trying to get onto that platform and not doing a very good job of it. There we go. So, this one was 4 up from the ground. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, was this one 5 up from the ground? Sorry, I'm not doing too well here. 1, 2, 3. It was 4 to the ladder, and then it. Could it have been higher? I'm going to try 1 higher. I just want to make sure that I'm going to be positioning this in the most efficient way possible. So we do that, we leave a gap, we put that down, we back away. Minecart track, minecart, and drop it in. Yep, see, okay, that's now too high, so that's the right height for it. So it's, oops, 1, 2, 3. The ladder goes on the fourth one. That's for the bottom. Now for the rest of it, you have to put them one lower. Oops. Oh. I don't really need those corner bits, do I? So I'll remove those. Now, so you can't go 1, 2, 3 and put the ladder there, because although you could, while standing, click on the one above, you're going to be in this minecart, and when you're in this minecart, you're a lot lower down. So you have to put the next ladder 3 up. So 1, 2, 3. Like so, and then the minecart will be above it, which is just in reach, but as you can see the one up there isn't. So I'm going to fall through this again. Right, so I've got to do this all the way up, so I'll see you when I'm done. Not sure where he spawned from. Thought I had this top fully lit up. Obviously not. Let's just keep putting these torches down. Maybe he came from up here. Well, I'm getting paranoid now. I mean, there's no way he escaped that thing. Ugh, so where did he come from? I came up here because I needed to make more minecarts and more ladders. So what I started down here is what's going to be the lower platform. So this will be like a basement area. And well, I'm hoping I've got a successful quick drop mechanism here. Let's find out. Yep, that works. Although I'll feel safer if I put a full side on it. I've gotten this quite a ways. But I've got a little bit still to go. So I ran out of carts about this level. So the ladders are already in. So I should just be able to go boom, 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 and whatever the opposite of boom is. So I'll keep doing that until I get all the way to the top. Okay, well, I've gotten this, all the way to the top. I'm using the pattern of, well, the bottom one, as you saw, was 1, 2, 3 ladder, then the thing on top of the ladder, and everywhere else it was 1, 2 ladder. So it was a little bit shorter. It's come up, and the last one is just below my floor level, which is going to be here. But that's okay, because you can't get out of that last minecart, because as you saw earlier, what happens is you fall back through them. So you need an exit minecart, something that you can jump to, which has a solid block underneath it. So I'm going to have one balanced here, I think. And this one actually wants to be on rails. So it won't move at all. So I think all I need to do is that. Because it's on rails, because there's a block underneath it, I don't fall through. And I can easily jump out of it and then walk around the rest of the floor. I'll get rid of that ladder at some point and replace it with a nice staircase going up to the floor above. I'm probably going to replace the floor above me with wood as well, so it's only the outside of all this that's made of wool. Let's make sure we're well lit. Don't want a repeat of that creeper situation. So let's test this. Oh, I was afraid that would happen. I need more of a guide rail on that. Okay. Let's make the sun come up so I can safely pick up my stuff. And unfortunately, because I hit the platform with the portal up there, it means my stuff, once you get down to ground level, really does scatter it far and... Whoa. Hello, huge amount of mobs that didn't appear to be burning or... Getting my stuff's going to be a bit tricky, isn't it? Okay, at least he died. Right, let's see whether I can avoid most of them. Yeah, I always paranoidly check this cave for stuff, because some of it invariably falls in. Right, buckets. It's all scattered on the treetops as well. Oh, there's my axe. My bow's all the way over here. I've lost count of the number of times I've fallen off that thing. Fallen off, fallen to my death, died. Okay, if I can just find all my stuff, please. Difficulty is I don't know how much of it's up on that platform. So I did get my axe, just in case some of it's on top of these trees. And to make it safer in future, I'm going to strip back some of these trees. Okay, I thought it might be my equipment over there, but it's just zombie meat where zombies have burned and eggs laid by chickens. See, now he won't come towards me because he doesn't want to leave the water. Because if he... Oh, hello, creeper. See you looking around back there, trying to find people. Or trying to find me. Yeah, see, look, I do have lots of stuff up in the trees. Oh, and there. Yeah, I'm going to have to clear out even more of these trees. Oh, so aggravating. Okay, well at least I've got my sword back now, and my bow. Okay, I better get up there. I've just realised that the stuff that might be up there might be despawning even as we speak. So I better be quick. Oh, well, either none of it landed here or it's despawned already, and I spent far too much time messing around down there with trees. Let's have a look at my equipment. Well, I had some armour, that's gone. I've got my diamond sword, my bow, my diamond axe, my diamond shovel. I did have a magical diamond pick, but it was just a normal one, and it had almost run out already. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. So what I need is more of a guide rail to make sure that I'm on target when I come down. Oh well. So, let's try this out. That's pretty quick. And then you go into that one and leave. Nice and simple. Now, I'm curious, how can I extend this? Maybe if I can get at it from underneath? Because I need that quick drop to be safer. There we go. This will probably do it. I just need to... Do I want to do this all the way down? I will, but not right now. What that should do is make sure that when I go in, I'll be on target. But I am going to move that all the way down, I think, because, you know, I think I need that sort of safety net. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oops, see, that's what happens if you click on the one you're in. But I can just do that. Works well. Would work even weller if I had half slabs around it. Because then when I was here, I could walk out. I wouldn't have to jump. But again, those are minor enhancements that can be done later. So I think that's it. I've got my quick way up, I've got my quick way down. We need to know whether or not this is just going to be a dome, which will go round. Or whether or not it should maybe come down to this level and then start the dome. Minor aesthetic differences, maybe. But that's what this is all about, is getting it looking right. Then up here, oops, I will replace... I'll build up a small wall around it, and then I'll replace the floor with wood. I will finish off the last floor up there, put the dome on top, and then we can get rid of this construction there, and it will all be good. And you can see one of them survived again. Again, I don't know why. He's got full health as well. Oh, he gave me a bow. It's magical. Nope, just a normal bow. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.